Hello, welcome to the 10th volume of Richards FM with me, Mark Richards. My channel is to point some new music towards you, and hopefully you'll find some new music. Some of it's new, some of it's old, some of it's fairly old. It's all good. It all has hooks, it all has choruses, it all has attitude and vibe and feeling, and it's just wonderful, wonderful stuff. I really like it, and I hope you like it too. It's all a bit maybe alternative, so if you're not really into alternative, if you like sort of mainstream stuff, you're not going to find much of that here. But this is what this is about, this is what I like, and this is what I'm going to try and share with you and your open mind. So with that in mind, I'm going to get started with this week's channel. So my playlists are on Spotify, so that you can listen to the music if you can get on Spotify. Otherwise you can just link to them in YouTube. I'll just put the links in the description below. Please let me know, have a like if you like, subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing, and we'll just see how we crack on. So yeah, 10th episode, 10th volume even, 13 tracks this week, nothing too long, so we shall get stuck in. So the first track this week is by Another Sky, English indie sort of rock band with brilliant vocalists. I've had one of her songs on these playlists before. I think one of the early ones as well. And the one I'm putting on this week is a standalone single called Chillers, which was the first of their song that I heard when they played it on Jules Holland a couple of years ago, I think now. Really, really good song, really good lyrics, really good delivery. I love the vocals of the lead singer. It's just absolutely fantastic singing, and the lyrics are very witty and very observed, and it's really, really worth checking that out. It's a nice sort of start to this week's playlist, and I'm very, very impressed with it, so I hope you like that one. Cool. Right, so if you've seen my channel before, you know that I have a cover version every week. I seem to be quite obsessed with my cover versions at the minute, to which end I've actually made a big alternative covers playlist. If you can find that, that's under Richards FM as well. I'm well impressed with that, probably obsessed with that as well. There's loads and loads of brilliant stuff in there, and this is one of them. I was talking about it with a friend, and we were talking about the Sisters of Mercy and all different cover versions that they'd done. They've done Hot Chocolate, they've done version of Emma by Hot Chocolate, 1969 by the Stooges, Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones, and then it made me think, oh, I'll see if I can find a decent cover of the Sisters of Mercy, and I found a cover of This Corrosion by a lass called Diane Birch and the phenomenal Handclap Band, which were included on this album. It's an EP that she made when was that? That was in 2010, called The Velveteen Age. It's got 7 tracks on it, all sort of goth alternative covers from sort of the 80s. So you got covers of Susie and the Banshees and Joy Division, Sisters of Mercy, Echo and the Bunnymen, and so on and so forth. It's actually really good. I've actually listened to the whole EP, and it is bob on. The whole sort of goth alternative thing, the whole Joy Division thing, there was a whole melancholy, moody sort of thing going all the way through it, and she's just turned that around on its head. It's a completely uplifting album, turned all these songs into, I don't know what, like soul pop, just really good, completely out there cover versions. Excuse me. And this cover version of This Corrosion is just fantastic. I absolutely love it. I've been listening to it all week. Wonderful. So yeah, check that out. That's quite possibly one of the best cover versions I've put on this playlist. So the thing was, I'm trying to find out a bit about Diane Birch. She was first discovered by Prince. I mean, she was playing in a hotel in Beverly Hills, and Prince walked in and thought, oh yeah, you're really good, come back up to my place and play with my band. So she did that, and then following that, she was supporting Stevie Wonder at a Hard Rock Calling concert he did in Hyde Park. So I think she's got a bit more of a soul-y sort of poppy thing going on in her own sort of stuff. But yeah, it's really, really good stuff. This EP, I think, is a good place to start if you like sort of a bit of soul-y pop, sort of soul-y, that's a new word, a soul pop sort of vibe. Then yeah, that's worth checking out. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful cover. So we'll stop banging on about that and we'll move on to the next one. So the next song I've got is by a band called The Districts, who are an American indie rock band. I don't know that much about them. I tried to find a bit out this morning, but it's a bit thin on the ground from what I can find out. If Before I Wake is the lead track from the third album, Popular Manipulations, which came out in 2017. I tried listening to the album. I'm not sure whether I like that or not. I think I might need to give that another go. The lead track, this is like the lead song from this. It's just brilliant. Really good vocals, really good lyrics again. It's a really good vibe, good feeling to this song. It's just fantastic. Really like that one. So if you like the sound of that, go check it out on my playlist and see how you go with that. I really like it. It's just got a nice sort of steady groove to it, and the vocal, like I said, the lyrics are just brilliant and that's just fantastic. So yeah, we're doing that. So the next track we're doing is by Irish band Fight Like Apes, from this album, Fight Like Apes and the Mystery of the Golden Medallion. So I can remember a very long title, which they did just to piss everybody off. But this is a great album. It came out in 2009. Fight Like Apes, like I say, they're an Irish band. They broke up. They made 3 albums and a slew of EPs and singles, and they broke up because they couldn't make any money. They couldn't afford to keep going with the way the money was being made in the record industry, and still is to a great extent, or to a very large extent, with places like Spotify, which I know is a bit hypocritical because I'm using Spotify to spread my music, but this is how people find music nowadays, with Spotify and YouTube and various bits and bobs. I do prefer to buy stuff if I can. Just support artists in any way that I can. So I'm going to go with Lend Me Your Face was the first song of theirs I heard, which is just absolutely fantastic. There's a female singer called May Kay who leads the band, or led the band, and just absolute brilliant vocals, full on punk attitude, full on like in your face sort of attitude. But they don't use a lot of guitars. A lot of it's keyboard based. There is some guitars in there, but a lot of it's sort of keyboard. But it's just absolute proper attitude, proper acerbic lyrics. The lyrics are just out of this world, absolutely out of this world. Just fantastic stuff. Lend Me Your Face is just in your face. It's just absolutely brilliant. Check Lend Me Your Face out, and then check The Mystery of the Golden Medallion out. And they've got another 2 albums after this, all as good as this, in different sort of, and it sort of varies a bit, but absolutely brilliant. Check out Fight Like Apes. Check out May Kay, because she's got a brilliant voice, brilliant stage presence, brilliant attitude. Like I say, they're split up now, unfortunately, but that is the way that things go. But anyway, we shall miss Fight Like Apes. We're going to go next with We've Got a Fuzzbox and We're Going to Use It. Rules and Regulations. So this was the XXX Rules and Regulations double A side single, which came out in 1986. And this is just brilliant. You'll know Fuzzbox from International Rescue and Pink Sunshine, and they did a lot of sort of poppy sort of electronic stuff later on, which they got a few hits for. So they had International Rescue got to number 11 and Pink Sunshine got to number 14 here in the UK. This was the very first single, spent 25 weeks on the indie chart, and it's just a proper homemade sort of thing, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Blue vinyl and everything. Rules and Regulations is a track that I've put on here, which is just a proper slice of snotty, fuzzy guitar attitude, absolute busted with attitude. This comes from the album Bustin' Steve Austin. There's got another single on it called Love Is a Slug, which is just great as well. So I would, rather than listen to Pink Sunshine and International Rescue again, looks like a little comic book thing. Look at that, look. Fantastic. That's a boring black vinyl, but absolute single, banging single that is. So check out Love Is a Slug, which is that, and then check out We've Got a Fuzzbox, We're Going to Use It, Rules and Regulations. This before they took the We've Got a and We're Going to Use It thing off the name, but absolutely fantastic. Can't recommend that one enough. Go and check it out. Yeah, great stuff. So we shall move on from the little fuzzy punky type things to Gil Scott-Heron, who you will have heard of, I'm sure. He was a folk poet, like not beat poet, but a folk poet-y type musician from the 70s and 80s. Loads of influence on a lot of people since he started, really. He's credited with sort of starting rap as well, with his lyrics and the way that he delivered stuff, and a lot of his music. The song I've heard, the song I'm going to put in, is called "Me and the Devil," from his last studio album, "I'm New Here," which was his last album before he sadly passed away, but it was also his first album in 16 years. And it's just really, really good. It's a proper trippy electronic modern vibe, and it's what, 10, 11 years old now, but the song is just an absolute blinder. Full on vibe, really good, trippy. I mean, if you think sort of tricky and Massive Effect and that sort of thing, it's a bit like that. And it's just, yeah, absolutely fantastic. I first heard it on what did I first hear it on? Don Letts, as a radio show on Radio 6, BBC Radio 6 here, and he played it on there, and I was listening to that. God, wow, that just completely blew me away. The video is completely bonkers as well. Full on New Orleans, Day of the Dead, festival-y type vibe, with a bit of extra spoken word, excuse me, stuff on the end of it. Yeah, fantastic. Can't recommend Gil Scott-Heron enough. He's also famous for "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," which was one of his big hit singles of great influence on a lot of people as well. So check out Gil Scott-Heron. Fantastic. So next we have Ginger Wildheart. So Ginger Wildheart, as you may have guessed, was the lead, or is the lead singer of the Wildhearts. Absolute phenomenal band. Love the Wildhearts. Big fan of them. Ginger Wildheart has just written so many songs, played with loads of different people. I think he's had 10 solo albums out, although it's hard to keep track because they keep coming at you from all places. Recently reformed the Wildhearts, a new album out like a year or two ago called The Renaissance Men. I think they're in the process of maybe recording another one, so that'd be fantastic. The track I've put on today is The Daylight Hotel, which was lead single from this, Ghost in the Tanglewood. This is a really good album. He's just a brilliant songwriter, absolutely fantastic songwriter. He's capable of doing anything that he turns his mind to. Fantastic vocals, brilliant lyricist, great guitarist, great songs. If you're even vaguely interested in Ginger Wildheart, check out some. There's a couple of best ofs knocking about. Check out some of that. Check out this as well. This is one of his latest albums. Really good. And just go from there. Daylight Hotel is a proper slice of upbeat sort of rock. It's not heavy. It's not majorly riffy. It's just a really good vibey guitar-driven song. So well worth checking that out. So everybody's heard of Ginger Wildheart. Go check him out now. So the next, we've got somebody that I can't find anything out about at all, particularly. It's a lass called Jade Callan with a song called Jumping at Shadows. She had an album out called Jaded, which came out in 2018, so not that long ago. But that's all she's had out, as far as I can tell. And I've done a bit of research this morning. Seems to be from Australia. That's about as much as I know. Jumping at Shadows, though, I found this by accident after Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac died last year. I was trying to find a copy of his track Jumping at Shadows, which is an absolute brilliant blues song, one of my favourites. And instead, well, I found that, but as well as that, I found this, Jade Callan. I figured it was a cover, and it isn't. It's just her own song, and it's really, really good. You know, for somebody you don't know, it's quite nasally vocals, which isn't too bad. It's good, but it's got a good vibe. It's got good lyrics, good atmosphere to it, and I'm really liking. I'm just going to chuck it in there and see what you think. There isn't much of it about, and say there isn't much of her stuff about, but that is worth putting in a playlist, I think, just as an oddity. But it's worth it. I like it. So the next film thing we have is a chap called John Murray, who is like a folk indie singer. His debut album, The Graceless Age, which came out in 2013, I've taken the track California from, because it's just such an immediate track. Oh, excuse me, I've not coughed all week, and then I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'm at it. I don't know. So you'll have to forgive the cup of tea in my wonderful Whalers mug. Look at that, look. Beautiful. Right, so back to the business at hand. California from The Graceless Age by John Murray. Really, really good song. The album itself was written in a way to deal with his substance abuse, heroin abuse and alcohol, I think. It's a really good album as well. Well worth checking the album out. The the single off it, this one, California, it's just got such a good vibe to it. And a nice sort of easy thing. The video I watched the other night is really good as well. Really good to watch. It really like different videos, so check that out. California, John Murray. See what you think of that. I hope you like that one. Next, we've got a band called King No One. They're from Doncaster, which isn't far from me. They don't seem to have had a full album out, as far as I can tell. There's a bunch of EPs out and things. I've heard these because my daughter was really into them, her and her friends, and they've been to see them a couple of times. And then I was walking through town here, and they were playing on the high street. So there you go. I stood and watched them for a bit, and then I went and bought this, which was an EP they were selling at the time. It has 6 of their singles on it. So yeah, it's very hard to find stuff. There's a bunch of it on Spotify, so you won't have any trouble finding it. And they've just had a new single out as well called Bad Porno, which I've yet to listen to properly. But they're really nice bunch of guys. I say, met them in town. Got a photo with them because, you know, I just wanted to wind my daughter up, so that works. And they were really nice guys. Bought this off them. Really good band. They seem to be playing really well as well. So check out King No One. Like I say, they've got a new single out. I'll check that out and see if I include it. We'll see how we go. But yeah, well worth looking at. Wonderful stuff. Oh, well, do you know what? Alcatraz is the song I've put on here, which is possibly the most immediate one they've got. The rest of it might take a bit more getting into, but it's still good. There's still hooks, there's still pop, there's still a little bit of indie, bit of attitude. Alcatraz, little funky, poppy sort of thing. Definitely not the 1975, but not far off, possibly. Like it. Right. So there you go. That's that. Next thing we've got is Lump, which is Laura Marling, even, and Mike Lindsay from Tung, who I might have to check out because I've been seeing this morning. They're a bit of a folky sort of band, so I like a bit of folky sort of stuff. This Lump, I'll put the single Curse of the Contemporary on, which is the single most accessible track on the EP. I mean, I need to have a few beers and listen to this again because I've really struggled to get into it since I got it. But I really, really like the single off it, Curse of the Contemporary. If you find the video for that as well, it's brilliant. It's just this thing dancing around in a studio, being stupid. Bloody brilliant. Really, really good song as well. Really good. I was on about bass intros with Fugazi last week. This has got a really good bass intro to it as well. Well worth checking that song out. If you like that, maybe give the EP a go. I mean, it's worth trying it. I'm not sure whether I like it, like I say, but, you know, that's cool. It's a nicely packaged thing. Excuse me. So, yeah, check out Curse of the Contemporary by Laura Marling. Lump. Good stuff. All right, blasted through this week. Next, we have Street Sweeper Social Club. So this was a side project, or a project from Tom Morello, who teamed up with a chap called Boots Riley from a band called The Coup. They did an album and they did an EP and a bunch of singles, and it's just really, really good stuff. It's part rap, it's part rock, it's part indie. It's just good songs, good hooks, good tunes, good vibes. Great stuff. I haven't got a physical of that. Paper Planes is the track I put in, which seems to be one of the more accessible songs on there. I first heard of these because they were supporting the tour with 9 Inch Nails and Jane's Addiction. And 9 Inch Nails released an EP from that with 2 songs from each band. So 2 9 Inch Nails, 2 Jane's Addiction, and yes, 2 Street Sweeper Social Club tracks. Really good stuff. Paper Planes, good stuff. Good introduction to the band. It's from the Ghetto Blaster mini album, which came out in 2010. So check that out. And we've got a little bit, which is unusual for me, we've got a little bit more rap in the last song of this week. It's by Young Fathers, who are a British sort of lo-fi indie sort of rap. They sort of cross genres all over the place. I like a bit of Young Fathers. I'm not massive into rap, but they do it completely differently. They sort of mix genres throughout each song and through quite a lot of their album. The most famous album, Dead, which is a Mercury prize-winning album, is the one I'm taking Low from, which was, I like accessible stuff, and I like to provide you accessible stuff so that you can delve into the deeper stuff at your leisure. I'm English, leisure. So yeah, Young Fathers, Low from Dead. Really, really good song. Really good song. Changes all the way through. It goes from different vibes, different genres all the way through it. Brilliant delivery. I like the voices. I like the way they deliver the raps. I like just the whole kit and caboodle. So yes, that's a quick blast through this week's 13 tracks from Richard's FM Volume 10. I hope you like some of what you've heard. If you do, subscribe to my channel, give me a like, give me a comment. Anything and everything is all appreciated. I'm going to keep doing this week in, week out. And yeah, great stuff. All these tracks are in the Richard's FM Volume 10 Spotify playlist, and they will all be added as well to the big Richard's FM playlist. And along with everything else that I've done for the last 9 or 10 volumes of this. Also check out my alternative covers playlist that I've made, because that is just full of absolutely brilliant stuff. And like I say, that is my latest obsession. So yes, fantastic stuff with that. So I hope you like it. I hope you stay safe. God rest Prince Philip. Take care, everybody. All the best. Oh.